Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से.
Well, that was fun for England and Chris Jordan, the boy born in Barbados, back at his hometown. Finishes it off with a hat-trick to his name. 4 wickets in 5 balls for Jordan in that last over, and 5 in 6 as England make light work of the lower middle order of the United States to bowl them out for 115 after winning the toss and putting them in at Barbados. We look back at that innings on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, powered by Dishtv. Watch we'll hear from Nick Knight in just a moment. And as we approach the deep end of the Super 8s, Deep Dasgupta. That's all I've got now. I'm done. 3 months of cricket and that's it. But Deep Dasgupta, Chris Jordan back on the side, and that is quite a special feeling for him.
Must have been. I mean, as you said, I mean, born and brought up in Barbados, back in Barbados, and picking up a hat-trick. And obviously there were these big question mark in terms of if you're going to make a change, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Chris Jordan or is it going to be Will Jack, looking at the batting effort from England in the last game? Obviously went in with Chris Jordan to kind of balance the batting and the bowling side. So, yeah, I mean, a big effort from him, and superb.
I mean, we can put into context the US and lower order wickets and all that, but take nothing away from the moment. Special feeling for Chris Jordan, Nick Knight?
Yeah, I think for 2 reasons, as Deep's just said. I mean, being in and out of the side, I'm not quite sure, how confident he feels on a daily basis to get picked. I mean, clearly someone with a huge amount of experience and knows his job well. No surprise for those of us that have seen him bowl over the years that he can do what he did at the end there. So really special for him. I mean, it's been hard to leave him out, obviously now, from the way that he bowled there. But to be honest with you, I thought the game was set up in the middle by Adil Rashid again. The key wickets that he got, and then England were good enough to be destructive at the end.
What's making Adil Rashid so impactful game after game?
Obviously, he's a quality bowler. All that experience that he's got over the years, and obviously the pitches, obviously assisting the bowlers a bit more in this World Cup. And I mean, listen, anyways, in T20 cricket, your wrist spinners are so good usually. On top of that, you've got Rashid, who's got this ocean of experience, and especially somebody who's in good nick. Obviously, he didn't start the tournament as well as you would like him to be. I mean, blowing a little hot and cold at times. But yeah, I mean, and makes a huge difference because now that, as Nick mentioned, England might not go with one less bowler and Will Jackson the side. But if you were thinking about it, would be on the back of someone like Rashid looking so good.
When Deep talks about the start of the tournament, Nick, where he didn't quite enjoy the amount of success in Barbados, where Scotland and Australia both kept him with just 1 wicket in 2 games and took him down. Has he changed anything from what you've observed after that to then grow into the tournament?
I think what he's changed is being able to adapt to the conditions which have changed, that he's just had to go with a little bit. I felt in those games that you mentioned there, sometimes, I mean, he's a little lad. He's not a tall lad. An Anil Kumble can bowl it into the pitch with that action. He has to get it up and over and get it above the eye line and dip it down because of his height. And I felt sometimes, and I feel this generally when I see Rashid bowl, if he's not quite got his rhythm at the crease, bowling it out of a hand and hitting the pitch hard, then I think it gets a little floaty and a little full. And then for all his variations, even if you're not picking it, you can hit through it because it's full enough and floaty enough, if that makes any sense. But when Rashid is bowling really well, he's got that snap out of the wrist and he's got that ability to really get the shoulder through and hit the pitch hard. And then, of course, he's getting the result of those variations that he's got such great control over now. I mean, that googly, oh my, I mean, that has got better and better over the years. And even if you're picking it, it's still damn hard to play.
Yeah. Just to add to that, and Nick, I wonder if you'd agree or not, I thought in the first few games he was trying to bowl a lot quicker and flatter, and every time Rashid tries to bowl quickly, he generally goes a little bit shorter. And now, I believe in the last few games, and especially the day games, it seems like he's trying to bowl a little slower in the air. That loop that you were talking about, that just gives him that extra bit of bite off the surface. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine line. What I'm is bowl it quickly and down. I'm saying quickly and up, so you can get snap out of the wrist, so you can get action on the ball, and so the ball is really fizzing out of the hand, but it's going up and down. The last bit of work, I don't want to get too technical here, but the last bit of the journey needs to be one where it's dipping down. I mean, you'll know as a keeper, deep. That's the bit that really causes batters problems. So it's not. I'm not trying to say that he has to bowl really fast and into the surface. It's get this bit through and the wrist, so that the rest of the ball can really do its work as it's going down.
All right. As we just look at the US effort, again a good start. 48 in their 8 overs. Nick, from a batting point of view, break it down. They don't quite seem to have the same impact for a longer period of play ever since they've made it to the Super 8s.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a problem for USA right the way throughout, hasn't it? I mean, I'm slightly hesitant to be too critical of them because of all the brilliance that Deep and I and you were talking about with Adil Rashid and Jordan at the end. I mean, that was pretty damn special. So, it wasn't easy. Aaron Jones, I felt, was the key wicket, as has been the case. I mean, Rashid there with that googly, I felt they got off to a decent start, but you kind of felt with the conditions as it was, were they able to maintain that? What they really needed was one player to really cash in, get in, and help the players that were coming in. Unfortunately for USA, it is the case really. There were just too many wickets falling in clusters, and they really had one player that could boss the innings.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is one such player. We saw that in the opening game against Canada, but he's just gone quiet as the tournament's gotten deeper.
Yeah, and also the pitches. I believe when you're playing on bowling-friendly pitches, the 120, 130 kind of pitches, the difference between sides, they kind of become narrower. But the moment you start playing, because you've got to keep in mind, the newer countries who've just got into cricket, there'll always be a better bowling side than better batting sides.
Yeah, sure.
And that we've seen with Afghanistan over the years. Now they've got their batters going as well. And
even they don't have all their batters
exactly.
going.
And now that the pitch has got better to bat on, you can see that gulf between, the more regular teams and US.
Okay, you're expecting England to come out hard and try and get this done quickly?
Yes, because I was a little disappointed with their approach or lack of intent in the last game, and that's something that Josh did mention post-match last game. So I would like to see them coming out and, play the usual T20 method that England is, we've seen England play before.
Expect a 10-11 over finish, Nick?
Somewhere around there. I think that wouldn't be too far off where they'd be looking. Absolutely. I'm with Deep. I mean, they've been... go for it here. Chance to really, it's a chance to have another statement win. They've had a couple. They've had one against the West Indies and had moments in other games. But they've got a chance to make a real statement here as well, of course, as upping their run rate and getting over the line quickly.
All right, let's see how that chase shapes up. Deep Dasgupta, thank you very much. We saw a hat-trick in the game earlier today.
Yeah.
And the chasing team didn't end up getting the runs.
So don't get too excited now, Raunak. Take it easy.
I'm seeing whether Nick believes in any of these trending patterns. Not happening. Surely not happening. Right, we leave it there. Thank you very much, Nick. Knight, Deep Dasgupta, South Africa, West Indies. Everyone's keeping an eye on how these next 10, 15 or 20 overs go. If England get the job done quickly, they've effectively sealed a semi-final spot, or can the US add to the drama of the day? We pick up the chat at the end of the game on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, powered by Dishtv. Watcher. Do download the mobile app if you haven't already. The fastest scores as England look to make this a fast chase, and so much more. Phil Salt's key player, he's in good form. Let's see how he goes. We'll see you at the end of the game.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से।